Warning, the following podcast is intended for immature dads only. Listener discretion is advised. This is Dad's Game Review, the most casual hardcore gamers around. Reviews and news from every platform. We waste our time so you don't have to.
What's up, kids? Welcome to another episode of Dad's Game Review. I am Paul Scalacci. I am joined by a man with a dog. Josh?
2 dogs, actually, and soon to be 4 dogs. Holy shit.
Goodness.
Oh, my
that's
life
right.
changed in the last week. Oh, my
Yeah,
God. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, as usual.
As usual. I don't know. I had my whole life, so I've been updating you guys each week on like what's going on with Grandpa being in the hospital and stuff, and like my life was completely uprooted Sunday, and I was sent into a panic because he's going into memory care. The dementia got too advanced while he was rehabbing for his cellulitis injury, and now he's going into memory care. Which we knew this was coming. He's 94 years old. He was still living on his own, still taking care of everything. But
wow,
what that means is that we knew we were going to inherit his house and some money with that. So we're executors of his estate, and so we're going to be moving in July. So I will have a house with no rent and no mortgage, and it's paid off, and it's got a pool and a hot tub and a downstairs apartment where my mother-in-law is going to be living. It's all right. We lived with her back in like 2014 through 18. She's very quiet. She keeps to herself, but it's a mother-in-law. I mean, what can I say? But she'll have her whole downstairs area. It's completely shut off with a door that's downstairs, and stay in your hole, woman. I'm just teasing. She's real sweet. But here's the thing that sucks. It has no internet out there. They've literally got DSL that's like a couple megabytes per second in his location. So my only option is satellite internet where he lives. And there goes my whole streaming career from home.
I just find it so freaking amazing that in this day and age,
I know.
He
lives in a subdivision. It's a name. There's a name for the subdivision. He just happens to be on an off street that doesn't get anything that's provided to anybody else. And so I applied to Elon. I'm like going to send Elon money for his fucking Starlink if he just lets me on. But it says it's maxed out for the area. And the DSL they have currently, I tested it at 3 megabytes per second download, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna die. So luckily though, I have this friend that lives in town. He's got an extra guest bedroom he doesn't even use because he can't rent it out because he's subsidized. So he's gonna let me set up my streaming unit in his guest bedroom, and I'm gonna stream from his place 3 days a week and hang out with him.
How far is that from you?
5 minutes from me, so no big deal. So he's the only in real life friend I have.
I don't understand how, like, if he's 5 minutes away and the internet doesn't work.
I live in a rural gold mining town in California. Okay, everybody I've mentioned this to, they're like, they've got to have something. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I've checked everything. There is nothing available for me except satellite. This is my blight. And then people in civilized cities don't understand it.
I guess must be rough. Anyway,
But so I panicked not having internet. I'm gonna lose my mind. But we'll see how it goes. I at least have something set up so I can keep streaming and everything, and we can keep doing this. Cool. I'll record at his house on Fridays. We'll do this, and
All right. Well, that's good.
Well, what did we play this week?
Kids, so you don't have to worry about that.
I don't know. No kids. No kids. Childless man.
So, we played a game. Called Blueprints.
I was excited about this one. I told him this one was coming up because I kept seeing all this hype about it. People calling it Game of the Year and a brilliant rogue, and
I could have sworn I brought this up to you.
There's no freaking way because you don't know. There's no way. I've been watching this game, and
really?
It was coming out. It was coming out last Thursday. It already had higher ratings, the highest ratings of the year on Metacritic, beating Split Fiction by like 1 point for critical reviews. Wow. I don't know what it's at now, but at the time when it was releasing, it was like at a 92.
Blueprints is a puzzle adventure game with roguelike elements developed by Dog Bomb and published by Raw Fury. You know, the screens that you skip by when you're trying to get to the game.
It's important we know this developer, though. What's the developer's name again?
So developed by, it says Dog Bomb, but it's DOGU. The
Dogu
Bomb.
I didn't look it up. I forgot to look it up because I do want to give credit to the publisher because they did something very unique here and they needed
okay.
for it. So
no, the publisher was easy. It was Raw Fury.
Or not the publisher,
and
but yeah.
It came out on April 10th for the PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox. The unique thing was that right away it came out on PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus just gave it to everybody for free.
Yeah.
Which that's like leaving money on the table because this game is amazing.
And I didn't think he was going to like this. I'm so prepared for him to hate everything we play because it's just kind of what he does. He hates every single genre of game. I can't even find one I'm sure he likes. So it's like when I going into this, we were going to do a rogue game. And so I asked him, do you know what a rogue game is? And he said,
yeah, kind of. It's in the title, Josh. It's in the title. The most casual, hardcore gamers. It's in the title. I don't really pay attention to details.
Well, that's why we're learning things. We tried Souls games. We tried Metroidvania games. Eventually, I'm going to make you play an RPG for a couple of months. We're learning things about gaming. So this is a rogue game, and my experience with rogues is when I hear it's a rogue game, I usually don't want to play it. Honestly.
Really?
Because rogue games mean you start over from the beginning every time you do it. You get some kind of bonus that you keep at the carries over. But meanwhile, you're doing a bunch of starting over and you're doing runs. You do rogue runs, you come back and do a couple of runs a night. The games are pretty addictive if you get into them.
Right.
But you're always starting over. And to me, that just kills everything because I hate that. And so my only experience with rogues, I tried Hades for a minute. I know that's everybody's favorite. That was like nominated for Game of the Year. Might have even won Game of the Year. I'm not sure. But I didn't give Hades a
I don't think it won Game of the Year, but I thought that was a pretty cute game.
Cute?
It was cute. It was fine for the time. Me and John played it
very much. People obsess on that game.
They came out with a Hades 2, which didn't get as favorable reviews, if that makes you feel any better.
It hasn't had the full release yet. Hades 2 is still in alpha or beta or something like that. It hasn't had its full release yet, but they're working on it. It's on Steam right now. So I didn't really do much with that one. But the card rogues I did. Balatro, Inscription, Slay the Spire. Those are some really fun card rogue games. And I did some card stuff back in the day with Magic and Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. And it was a lot of fun. But once again, you're always starting over. And that's what burned me out. So going into this, I'm like, how are they going to do a puzzle rogue game? And that's what intrigued me in this puzzle rogue, because I'm so used to dying and starting over. Well, there's no dying in this. So why don't you set up how it's actually laid out?
So is there a genre puzzle rogue?
Not that I can really think of. That's why this intrigued me so much. I'm like, how are they going to do a puzzle rogue? What is this? How do they implement the rogue style into this type of game? So
basically you're a guy, as always, and you inherit your grandfather's old estate. But there's tricks to it. So you go there and they're like, oh, by the way, you can't sleep in the house. You inherit it. It's like one of those old 70s sitcom things where you can't sleep in the house. You can't do this. You can't do that. Otherwise, you don't inherit it. The inheritance is null and void, right? But there's a trick to it. So when you get in there, it takes a minute because there's not really a whole lot of explaining. There is explaining, but on these little postcards, but they're in other rooms of the house. I found that a little bit annoying. It was yeah, I know this already. I've been playing this game for freaking 28 days. Explaining things that you already knew. But you go through, and instead of being able to just go through the rooms of the house, you have to create them or draft them. And each room has a unique ability. So there's red rooms, green rooms, blue rooms. Each one either has gems or money or keys in it. Some rooms are locked. Some rooms can be a closet. And you create on the map this 5 by, I want to say
5 by 9. I think it's
5 by 9. Yeah,
the
map.
The 46th room is the goal here. You're trying to find all 45 rooms and unlock the 46th room. That's the whole goal.
Pretty much. And you have to strategically look at this because if you create a closet and there's no outlet on the other end of it, you basically have to find another way around that room. So So
hold on before we get into the details of it. Yeah. So each room has options. You could have up to 4 doors on a room, and it counts down 3 doors, 2 doors, or 1 door dead end. And you want to try and use as much space as possible as you're building up. The thing is, each of these rooms can only be drafted once. So you have your 45 rooms or however many you've unlocked. How many rooms did you unlock? Did you check? I didn't check mine because
I
I've
didn't
unlocked a
check mine.
ton, but I'm really curious how many
I've
I've
gotten
done.
up to like 30 something.
Yeah, I know I'm in
but
the
that's
30s
about
with
it.
the rooms that I've
Yeah.
drafted. But yeah, you only get one shot to use each thing. So that takes that advanced planning is like, do I spin my dead ends down low so I don't get stuck with dead ends in my drafts at the top? Or,
Right.
do I save my hallways so I have that way out with those extra doors? Or like
Right.
it takes this whole every run that you're going into, you're learning a new strategy. And that's what kept me going on this one. I didn't do as many runs as you did, but every time I did a run, I felt like I was accomplishing something and I felt like I gained new rooms. And then you find these revelations, these all of a sudden this new place unlocks and you get these permanent upgrades and stuff like that too. Why don't you talk about that? Talk about the permanent upgrades.
So sometimes you can find so like let's say for instance I went out into the yard because this estate is a sprawling estate and there's a door in a shed. So now when you go to draft that room, which can only be one room, there could be things in there. You could, I don't know if you did did you do the bomb shelter yet?
Well, so that outdoor is a permanent bonus that you can apply to each day. You run out there and you decide what you want that bonus for that day, and it gives you like 3 options, I think. There was like a hovel, a bomb shelter, and something else. And
hovel,
each one
a bomb shelter, and a tool shed. Oh, a school room.
Yeah, something like that.
I get school room,
but then those are all day bonuses for as you're running through the rest of the house.
Oh,
yeah.
And by the way, you only get 50 steps a day.
Oh, that's one of the other limiting things. You got to factor that into play, that you start with only 50 steps. And so walking into a room is 1 step. Walking into a room, forgetting what you did, turning around, coming back out, going back in, and realizing, oh shit, I just took 3 steps. Happens all the time. So you got to be careful. You make sure that you plan your lines through these rooms to open doors so you're not wasting all your steps. But then another permanent upgrade that you can get is when you find the orchard outside and you unlock the padlock gate, you get an extra 20-step bonus to each day. So, there's little bonuses like that. But the funny thing, he mentioned the outside day bonus. The way to get to that one, all these things, every room plays with every other room in some way. So he said he walked out the garage to go find the hovel outside bonus. Yes. Well, the way to do that is you have to draft the breaker room first. Then you have to solve the puzzle on the breaker room, which is insane. And that's how you get.
Oh my god, that was crazy, that puzzle.
And the only way to solve that puzzle is by drafting 3 other rooms that have clues in them that give you clues how to solve the puzzle. And this is all RNG. This is all random, so you don't know what rooms you're getting each run.
Yeah.
And then you turn on the breaker room for the garage, so that way when you do draft the garage, you can go out that door and find that bonus. Like it's crazy how they all intertwine and interwork. We're gonna lose people trying to explain anything, but
I know it's hard to describe.
And you want to set up these bonuses. You want to have all these bonuses where, there's a bedroom bonus where if you get this one room, every bedroom that you generate in the house from that point on gives you an extra 5 steps. So, get that
bedroom, right?
That special one early, and then draft all those bedrooms as you're heading down. You're keeping your steps up the whole time. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is. And it takes a lot of planning, and it's so random that it's like, oh, like sometimes, what was I doing? I must have walked back and forth. So I went outside one instance and I created the bomb shelter. And in the bomb shelter is a computer that right next to it has a timed safe next to it. I don't know if you created the bomb shelter.
I didn't do the bomb shelter yet. No, I haven't done it.
So you go down into the bomb shelter and there's a little note there saying, hey, stay away from radiation, blah, 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 blah. Stay down here for as long as you need to. But there's a computer down there and there's a safe. And you go on the computer and it says, oh, this is a time save. Set the date and the time that you want it to open. So I'm like, where do you find the time?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So you go like, what date is it? Like, how do you even know? There's nothing around that's a date until that's the one thing I had to look up was the date. And the date, even in the emails in the computer, you start on November 7th. And then you count however many days you're in. So like you said, you're 33 days.
Are you serious? So you have to count how many days you've actually played, and that's the date you want to set it for?
That's the date you set it for. And then the time, how many times I walked out of this bomb shelter and back into it because the time is on a clock on the outside of the house.
Yeah.
I must have went back and forth a bunch of times. I must have wasted like 20 steps just trying to get this safe open. And then the safe opens. And I don't want to ruin it for you if that's.
I haven't got it yet. I'll figure it out. But that's an example of like how it's multi-step puzzles There's a periodic table chemistry one that in the end all you got to do is flip 2 switches, but you have to fill in all the chemical. Couldn't even figure it out. I had to look up. It's confusing. I don't have the brain for it. I'm going to admit it. I had to look up some of the puzzle solutions because either I wasn't finding the clues I needed, or I was just frustrated and said, "Fuck it, I want the code to the safe now."
Yeah, right. That was it.
You get to that point because
that was one of them. I mean, there was others. There was
if you want to challenge your brain, like
what did I find? I found.
Oh, you know what I loved? I love the dartboard. You hated the dartboard, but I love the dartboard.
The dartboard was interesting because it was just all math. And
it's math. And I love doing like short form math. It'll give you it works where basically you work from your inside out, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and that's 1 point times 2 regular times 3, and you just do it. You work around the board and you do your math in your head until every time you do it, it gets harder, right? Well, I've done it about 15, 20 times now, and all of a sudden they're throwing in symbols and shit. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let's go back to the 3 + 2 × 4 thing. Like,
oh, there's the one with the square root in the middle of the dartboard. You just have to
where the bullseye is the square root. Yeah, but then there's squiggly lines, which mean round up. And I'm like, oh, no, wait, what are we doing here? Like, I looked it up. There's a list of like 12 different symbols that they'll start putting on the dartboard that makes your math harder. So,
oh, wow.
It gets wacky. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never got up to squiggles or anything. The only thing I got so far has been, square root with a lot of colors. And then you want to open up that dartboard early because there's 2 keys behind it. There's always a different key behind it.
Or the card, the electric security card.
Yeah, the security card, the key card. I got a green card one. I mean, a green key. Did you ever get this one?
I didn't see the green key. There's so much to this game, you guys. There's so much to this game.
There's just so many. Every time I play this game,
something new
I'm on
happens.
day 20. I think I'm on day 27.
You're way past me. I'm on 617.
But I'm on day 27, and every time I play this game, something new comes up. Like, what did I show you today? Oh, the prism key.
Yeah, and that makes a room that's any color, whether you want.
It makes a room that any color of your choice. So
the reason why colors matter here is because colors are bonuses and stuff. Like bedrooms are purple or something. Green rooms are like the greenhouses and gardens and stuff. And like red rooms are trauma. That's the shit you don't want. Right. But you can now get bonuses.
Especially what was that weight room that takes away half of your
weight room. You lose half your steps immediately. Yeah. If you're forced to draft that, like those are the red rooms. Those are the negative things. And it's like there's so many things to factor in, but it all comes down to the luck of the draft. And it's like, what is going to pop up? And so one of the things you collect there are gems, right? And the gems are how you spend for the special rooms. So can you think of some of the special rooms that you liked that had these special little? There's like I
like the observatory because every time you walked in it, you gained a star, and then you look through the telescope. And when you look through the telescope, it gave you a bonus.
Yeah, so every time you draft it, it goes up 1 star, and the higher your stars are, the cooler of a bonus you get every time you go in that room.
Some dead ends gave you like a ton of shit. Like, what was that room?
The attic, 8 items.
I haven't gone into the attic yet.
Oh, that's where I got all my shit yesterday from that run. You get the attic.
I went into the vault today, and I got 48 coins.
I got the attic and the vault in yesterday's run, and the vault just loads you up on money. Plus, you can unlock vault safes if you find vault keys around, and then the attic gives you straight up 8 items as soon as you walk into it. So I had there's all these items you can buy with your coins that you collect that do things like you can get the metal detector, which will detect keys for you in the greenhouses. You can get the compass, which will mean you'll get more rooms that face north, that have a north exit. You can get the coin or the coupon book, which makes buying things cheaper. There's all kinds of little extra side things that you can collect for items. But the attic's where you go.
Did you get? You must have opened the locksmith room, right?
Yeah, the locksmith where you can go buy keys if you want.
Buy keys if you want them. What's the one that the locker room? Did you go in the locker room?
What's the bonus on it?
So the locker room is like just. As it sounds, a locker room, a gym locker room, and every single locker is locked with a key. So there's got to be at least 12 to 15 lockers in there.
So if you actually I've never had that many keys. The most keys I showed you 8. I had 8 keys at one point.
Yeah, I had 1 key, and I blew it on an empty locker. Like you just go through and like they don't open unless you have.
Did you get the room of mirrors?
Yes, that sucked.
No, that one's cool because it automatically. So, like I said, you can only draft one time per room. when you get the House of Mirrors,
and it doesn't let you back out.
There's a trick to it, but the House of Mirrors lets you reuse your rooms that you've already used again. So you get to redraft the same rooms you've already used. But the House of Mirrors, it's a weird little puzzle, and as long as you draft rooms that can enter outside of it, you can go into the weird Hall of Mirrors puzzle inside of it. You just have to draft rooms around it. It's crazy.
So let me try and paint this picture. So imagine a door. You go up to it, and as soon as you go to open the door, a cut screen maybe opens up, and it drops down with like drafting paper and like all these like little things behind it. And it says, oh, okay, what room do you want to create? It doesn't even let you walk in. It just says, what room do you want to create? And it gives you 3 options, and that's it. So if you try to hit circle and back out and be like, wait, I didn't want to do that. Nope. You have to create a room. That's how it works.
That's where you get stuck. You're like, you've left yourself towards the top of the thing, almost to the antechamber. You've only got 2 options for doors. All of a sudden, you're out of keys. One of them's locked, and the other one drafts you dead ends. And you're like, no!
Yeah. Now, you do get the option. Have you gotten dice? I got...
Yeah, you get the dice for a reroll. You can reroll your drafts.
So it gives you 3 options of 3 different rooms. You can't back out. You have to pick one of these 3 rooms. Or you have dice. And dice let you roll the dice again, and it gives you 3 new rooms that you could choose from, which I always thought was cool. Unless you're in the drafting room. Because if you're in the drawing room or the drafting room or whatever it's called, you get to choose as many times as you want.
Yeah, that one lets you redraft or whatever. That's one of the bonuses. Then it gets more complex. Did you get the boiler room and the laboratory and all that kind of stuff where you have to power other rooms? The boiler room becomes a central power. That got too complicated for me because then there's certain rooms that need to be powered that you can only draft onto the boiler room. Right. And those powered rooms have their own puzzles. I solved the laboratory one. That was one I accidentally got the boiler and laboratory back to back. But let me see, what other special rooms do I have here?
The boiler room, I didn't know what to do in there. It was just a furnace.
I got most of it, but it's confusing. You turn all these knobs and you go up an escalator and all kinds of stuff. Okay. But like I said, the goal here is to reach the antechamber. Now let's talk about how the hell you get to the antechamber, which neither of us accomplished.
You get
there's 3 doors on the antechamber. There's west, east, and south. Okay, and the way to get them, go for it.
And that's the 46th room, right?
Yep, that's the 46th room. No, wait, I don't think it is. Remember there's a fortune teller that you can put a coin in that shows you something.
The message changes every single time. He
showed me a door by an ocean or something and called it the 46th room or whatever. But I don't know. Okay. The antechamber is where you want to end up first. And to get in there, you need levers.
Yeah. So you have to go around and you find these levers and you're like, okay, there's rooms. What is it? What's the great room?
There's only 3 rooms. Yeah, there's only 3 rooms. There's a great room with a bunch of doors in them that you can get lucky and get a lever. There's the Great Hall. That's what it's called, the Great Hall.
The Great Hall.
There's some type of greenhouse room. I can't remember what it's called. Where there's a broken lever, and if you happen to find a lever in one of the other rooms that you draft, then you can pull it. Which I've done each of them, but I've never had the lever and the greenhouse room together and got to pull the switch. And then there's a 3rd room that you can get that I can't think of that actually has a lever in it you can pull, but I've never drafted it. So I've never had a chance to actually pull a lever.
So there's multiple situations here where and then there's a whole outside. Did you light all the 4 flames on the outside of the house yet?
That's all. I lit 3. I did one thing last night.
All 4 of them.
3rd one.
And an elevator comes up. Yeah. You take this elevator down, and down there is just like this what looks like a dugout cave. And you keep walking and walking, and you find some gems, you find the key or whatever, but then at the end of this room with a chessboard. And it has like 5 chess pieces, and you have to put the chess pieces on the board that match the map, specifically where you've seen those pieces in those rooms. So let's say I drafted a den.
You told me
there's a pawn in the den. Oh, I got to go back. I got to waste 10 steps, go down the elevator, and put this pawn.
So this is why one of the first things this game will tell you. This game will tell you to take notes. Get a pen and paper and take notes. And I said, I say, fuck that. I don't do that.
Yeah, I was just like, pish posh.
No. And I've seen plenty of people on Twitter. What's funny is I saw a couple people on Twitter being like, I hate games that tell you to do that. And then a couple days later, they're like, so I took notes.
Yeah, I know.
Because seriously, they don't remind you of things. You got to either have a good memory or really be writing down some of these details, because it's just confusing. It's just
it just
confusing.
keeps going and going and going, and
we both have
so
shit
many
memories. So
so I was just like,
I can't remember where I am when I turn around.
So when you go in and you're building these rooms, so when you first start out, you start in the main hall, right? And then you look at the map, and the map has 5 rooms going across. Think about squares like a chessboard, literally like a chessboard, and then 9 squares going up to the top. And at the very top is that antechamber, they call it, with Josh was just explaining, with the 3 doors. And the whole object is to draft enough rooms to get you up to the antechamber. But when you get up to the antechamber, all the doors are locked, so you can't go in anything. You have to go around.
That's why we were just talking about the levers. Yeah.
Yeah. Find the levers. Make sure you don't lose all your steps.
Yeah, it's too many things. It's a bunch of things up in the air you're trying to juggle at once. Make sure you have enough keys, enough gems to draft. Make sure you got a reroll in case you get stuck. Make sure you've turned on the switches in the breaker before you draft this. Make sure you've done this in this room before this happens and all this, and you're just like, or you can just sit back and take it as it comes.
I don't want to ruin something. I want to ask you, you ruined something in the garage. Have you gotten the keys to the car?
Yeah, I did accidentally. Yeah.
What's in it?
Gives you you unlock the
I've gotten the garage. I just never gotten the keys to the car.
You open the door and you pop the trunk, and you can open the trunk, and it had a bunch of keys in it for me, like more keys and gems and stuff. It's just, it allows you to unlock the trunk of the car. Okay. And it has a bonus in it.
Oh, okay. Outside of that, I mean, I love this game. Every time I turn it on,
he says he can't wait to play it. Like, it bore.
Every time I sit down, I'm like, I gotta play. I was like, I'll be doing something. Like today, I was doing the laundry. I was like, I didn't even think about that option. And then like run downstairs.
It stays in your head during the day. I start thinking about strategies during the day, and that's how these rogue games will get you like that. People get super addicted to them because you start thinking of how you can do a better run, how I can do a better run, and that's what I do. This has turned into a game where I come home and I do 2 runs a night, and then I move on to something else and play it. Okay. Well, these runs can take, like, I had one run take 40 minutes almost, because I just kept it going. Wow. And so it's a kind of a big letdown when you're just done and you're like, I got to start all over. So if I get 2 good runs out of it, I'm good, and I'll play something else for the night. And I'm going to continue to keep playing it, because until new things stop happening. Like I said, I've done 17 runs and new shit keeps happening. And what I learned today, even after you get to the antechamber, there's that room you drafted called the foundation. The foundation is a permanent fixture in your house. Once you place it, it stays there. And there's an escalator that you can get that takes you down to the basement. And there's a basement room down there that has a locked door. And the only way you open that door is by first getting in the antechamber to get the key for it, specific key for it. And then who knows what the hell happens in the basement, because apparently that's a whole other thing. So when you think the game's over in the antechamber, apparently it's not. Apparently it's not. So
there's just there's much a lot to this game.
There's so much.
This is how captivating this game is. I have been waiting for a good Indiana Jones game for a decade. Like, since the Staff or whatever that one was on the PlayStation 2, I've been waiting for a good Indiana Jones game. I finally got somebody gave me a gift card that they didn't use from Christmas or something, and I saw Indiana Jones came out on PlayStation 5. I bought it, started it, put it down. Indiana Jones has a very, very special place in my heart, because it was the last movie I saw before my dad died, because he took me to see Raiders. And I've always been an Indiana Jones fan. I mean, nobody wants to talk about Crystal Skull, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. It was amazing. I played the game.
It was always a great, and this game came out. This is how big a fan I am. Huge fan of Indiana Jones. Skipped it. Still on my hard drive.
He's still playing. Yeah. Just keep it going just do what I'm doing with it. Do a couple runs a night, keep it as a side game, and then play your other stuff.
It's too addicting. It's too addicting.
It's gonna be on game of the year list. Here's the thing though that I didn't get. Okay.
Wait. Before you say that, tell me what the bridge is that you lowered. That's the last thing that I never got to.
Oh, you mean the foundation? For the foundation?
No, you said you lowered a bridge.
No, I lowered for the foundation. You lower an elevator that comes down. No,
like a black water bridge or something. So there's the
My brain's not functioning now. I don't know.
There's the orchard gate. Like when you pull up the pause menu, and there's the permanent additions down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, I have all 4 of them now. I have all 4 of them, but
One of them is a bridge something. You took a picture of it, and I can't remember.
Yeah, let me zoom in on. Actually, I have my phone right here. Let me zoom in on what it is. It is the Westgate Path, the Gemstone Cavern, the Apple Orchard, and the Black Bridge Grotto. I don't even know what the Black Bridge Grotto is. When did I unlock that?
Black Bridge
what is
Grotto.
That?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. That was my best round that I had. What was I going to say though? Okay, so there is a story to this, but I don't know what it is because I can't. My memory's shit, and you put it together picking up scraps of paper. Did you get much of a mystery story about the family? Did you learn anything? Because apparently it's supposed to be amazing, and I've caught none of it.
So, in the bomb shelter, you go down there, and after wasting 30 steps going back and forth finding the date and the time that you could set this to open, you go down there, and there's a single gem, and in there. You're like, what the fuck? After you curse it, because it's just a single gem in there, there's a red envelope with the number 4 on it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of red envelopes.
Now, here's the thing. It's only part 4 of the story of a 9-part story, because I put the coin, I'm always putting the coin in Zoltar or whatever that machine is, the guy that tells you the future. One of the stories he tells is of 9 envelopes. Telling the whole story of your family lore.
Oh, and you okay. Well, I only have 2 of them right now, and it doesn't. Can you even open them? I just picked them up.
I don't know if you can keep them. I don't know. I never looked because the story just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, that's another thing they keep track of on your main page is how many of you collected, and it's a permanent thing once you've collected them. I just don't know what they do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's some of these things you hold on to for a while, and some of these things you just kind of like sit there like you're. West Blackwater Gate or whatever.
I got to look up what the hell that was. I don't even remember. My memory is so crap, so it doesn't matter. But this game is amazing. We both loved it. We're gonna keep playing it. I recommend you play it. It's on PS Plus. It's just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant.
It is. It's just it's an amazing game. I've never played anything like it. I mean, I definitely. Oh, you know what? I do have something to talk about. Remember, like we were talking before. You said what happened this week, right?
Yeah.
I do have something that I do remember talking about. So, from time to time in the past, I've played this.
Oh, I was gonna say don't play it because we keep getting copyright strikes. Stop playing it.
Yeah. It's only up to 10 seconds.
YouTube hates it. Yeah.
You can't. Right now, not only YouTube hates it. I got an email from Spotify.
Oh, yep.
Spotify was like, "Hey, stop playing that. The Philadelphia Philharmonic is complaining." They did not give you the rights to play that song.
Yeah, we can't have anything like that anymore.
And I was like, I didn't know that they even played that song. I just grabbed it from the internet one day, like back probably 7 years ago when I started using this shit.
Well, you would think something like that would be copyright free, but oh well.
It wasn't. So Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Not gonna play it. So I can't use it anymore. I can't use that sound. But we did play.
We got a bonus game though. You can use your bonus game music.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Okay, bonus game. What is it?
So the bonus game is White Shadow, right? White Shadows. Okay, and I'm gonna read to you that White Shadow is a modern fable about escaping a dark, weird, and violent world. So, White Shadow is the game that answers the age-old question, what if we played inside, but we played it as a chicken? So...
Before the game starts, let me just read the warning that pops up, okay? Because this threw me the fuck off. I actually
shared this. You ever want to play the game inside as a chicken before?
Yeah, everybody knows. Oh, God, I swear to God, when you mention indie games, everybody's like, "Hey, have you played Inside and Limbo?" I'm like, "Yeah, everybody's fucking played Inside and Limbo." It's like the only reference of indie games anybody has for anything. But this is very much like Inside. So the first thing that pops up, this game contains depictions of racism, suicide, violence towards women and children, animal cruelty, forced labor, and xenophobia, which may be difficult to handle for some. And so my brain was like, what? Wait a minute. That's a whole lot of shit right there. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to experience the most traumatic thing of my life. And instead we get a game about chicken ravens.
Let me read dark. What it says on the Steam, because there's no Wikipedia page about it. The wolves are watching. Adventure through a captivating but brutal dystopia where our young adventurer Raven Girl will travel through this huge city's brightest lights and delve into its darkest depths with her perilous journey of discovery and finding her destiny where the hope seems to be in short supply.
So like I said, this game is White Shadows. Like this was just an impulse purchase. It was 99 cents or $1.99 on
it was
PSN
$1.99 for me.
And I grab games that look unique. I don't need to know a whole lot about them. It looks unique because the entire game is in a very dark, moody, gritty grayscale, except for, lights. And like
it looks like Limbo, but like with more detail.
This is the most like depressing game atmosphere I can like think of, because it just feels like what did I write down? It feels like a dystopia, like state-run media shouting propaganda over the megaphones, and like everything is just desolate and destroyed and like dark and oh Jesus, and the chickens are being held slaves, and it's a very dark, gritty game.
So you start out and you're a chicken and you come out of this cage.
You're Raven Girl. You're not actually a chicken. You're Raven Girl, whatever that is.
Whatever. You're a bird. You're a bird and you live in a bird world. And then it doesn't take long before you realize that you're starting to see, this is where the racism comes in and the xenophobia comes in.
Down with birds.
Birds you start seeing useless. These signs that are like, death to birds, and birds are useless, and all these other things.
You can substitute immigrants for birds if you want to make this a political commentary.
Right. And you live in a world where they harvest eggs for energy.
They got the birds working in factories doing labor, pumping out eggs. They're using them as slave labor.
That creates batteries.
Bring back manufacturing. Yeah, put the birds on labor.
And it's very... I thought this was cute. I'm not just saying that because the game only took 90 minutes to finish. But I'm just saying is that because the game was cute, it had like a lot of different things to it. It had like a lot of different elements.
You use cute in very weird ways. That's twice this time. Hades is cute. This dark, absolutely gritty, xenophobic game is cute. Do you know? Let's look up cute. Shall we look up cute and see what it means?
It was also very easy. It was also very easy.
Well, it's just a puzzle platformer, and there's like minor puzzles to it. I got confused for a minute on some of it, but it's just one of the go right games, or in this case, go right and left, and just hop over things.
Mine glitched a couple of times. I don't know about yours, but
I glitched to the ground a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to reboot it like 2 times.
But what's cool is that you're always moving in a 2D plane, but the other things are moving in a 3D plane coming at you and stuff like that, and you're hopping over them and stuff. Or you go through these. There's a whole thing where you're on a tram, like a train, and you're hopping trains going through this whole area, and you're up in the sky. You're like up in the sky of this industrial complex, and it's just so dark. I can't emphasize that enough. Like the grayscale on this is just really cool. The way it sets the atmosphere for everything.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting
carnival too.
It is. It's very like, and it's also very much like a very mechanical world that you live in. Like once the eggs are laid, you'll see like it plays to like
it's all factories and machines and factories.
The factories and machines, and it'll
oh, it's all classical music. I freaking
all
love
classical
that.
music.
I was a classical pianist for 20 years, and like
what was that?
They used every popular classic piece and just the coolest stuff. That like Flight of the Bumblebee is one of the areas where you're like you're doing something, and then there's one of these big grand Tchaikovsky pieces like that was showing the Ministry of Light, and like you're just like, yes, this is epic. Like really cool with classical music on it. Yeah.
But I mean, if anybody gets the chance, I definitely give it.
It's $2 right now. White Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would say get it because it's entertaining. It's very entertaining.
It took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to beat it. There's a YouTube run that shows an hour and a half, but I got stuck a little bit, and it's totally worth playing. You will be like, that was cool. That was cool.
It was, and the graphics were really good. I mean, they were
really
very
cool backgrounds. Really cool backgrounds. Like honestly, the atmosphere was the best part of this game. Like it really
I love
felt
the part.
hopeless.
I love the part where you're on TV. Did you ever see that?
There's a couple points, where it shows like cuts to a TV scene, and then there's a stage show point,
and it's like there's like some type of like MC that's also a robot, and he's just like he kind of like triggers these like bandsaws that come through, and you have to jump over them, and everybody's like, "Whoa!"
It really is a carnival. It's called like Funland or something like that. And the puppet master comes out and directs saws at you and stuff like that, and like there's a boss fight and all that. It's cool. I recommend playing it. $2. Just definitely. Go get it. White Shadows.
How about very
game
rare?
News?
Very rare Dad's game review where both of them are loved.
I know, right? Especially after we played Symptom last week, and I was gonna have a fucking aneurysm. I hated it so much. I even messaged Serenity Ford, your game sucks. They were posting on Facebook, and I'm like, well, they were announcing a new release that's coming out. I can't think of what it's called. I'm like, well, couldn't be any worse than Symptom was.
I'm sure
I haven't even posted that. I haven't even posted that one on YouTube because I feel like it's just me being angry for 40 minutes. So because between that and Switch 2 releasing, like, it's just.
Well, I don't have any news, but do you have news?
Well, I'm just gonna go over game releases because there's some cool games.
And now it's time for gaming news.
All right, good.
Here's the game release. You already mentioned Indiana Jones. That's coming to PS5. I already played Indiana Jones. I put 40-something hours into it. Game was freaking fantastic. Was my number 3 favorite game of the top 10 last year. It came out of nowhere. I played it in December, and I got fixated on it and just played it start to finish over 2 weeks. It was so good.
I will admit that I did open it up. I did play the first beginning scene before the title screen, and they let you play the beginning of Raiders of the Lost
Ark with the big ball and everything. Yeah, it totally feels
they play, which I thought was pretty cool. But I'm so captivated by Blueprints. I don't know whether I can get into it right now.
They get the feel of an Indiana Jones movie right, and that's just it. I felt like a kid again watching Last Crusade. Like I felt like that's my Indiana Jones that I loved as a kid. There in front of me. And I'm playing as him, and I'm punching people in the face, and I'm diving into tombs. And he's gonna want to review it when we're done, but my memory is so bad. I don't know how many details I can remember on it, but we'll try and do a review of it when he's put 30 hours into it or something, which will never happen.
Yeah. I'm still putting. I think I'm up to hour 20 of Horizon Forbidden West.
Other releases, both Neva and Gris, my 2 loved games. We just reviewed Neva. Those are both from Nomada Studios. They are getting their PS5 physical releases today. Neva. I just got it. I just got Gris in the mail today, the PS5 release, and I just bought my holy grail, a PS4 release of Gris today on a deal for $80. It's worth about $150, so I got a deal on that. Yeah, I know. I also got a Neva Deluxe Edition coming, and we reviewed a game called Planet of Lana last year in May.
Mm-hmm.
That just got a physical release. I just ordered a deluxe edition of that from Super Rare Games. The only other thing that happened this week is that Nintendo went ahead and said, I guess we'll let you guys pre-order. And so they're not raising their prices like everybody panicked, and then they're going to do pre-orders in a couple weeks here.
I guess $450 is enough.
And this almost feels like a little game they're playing too. They're like, oh, wait a minute. What if we say we're going to have to raise prices because of the tariffs, and then people will be so relieved when we say we're not going to that more people will buy it? Do you think they pulled that bullshit?
I don't know.
There was a Mario Kart Direct.
I refuse to believe that Nintendo plays these kinds of games because they're, you're talking about
wholesome or some shit. They're a corporation. They are evil.
They're the corporation that doesn't mind being third. Like they're a generation behind in video games. They come out with the same 4 character games every single console release, and they're just like, we're good with it. And they never, and their games are usually cheap. Usually up until now.
Wait, what the fuck? Their games are not cheap. They don't ever drop their prices on their first party stuff. That's why I won't buy their first party games. They never go below $40-$45. They don't ever drop the prices on first party.
No, meaning they weren't the ones that were in the, oh, well, we got to charge $89.
Really? Because they're charging $80 for Mario Kart, and they're charging $90 for physicals. And so I don't forgive them for anything. They've always had pricing issues with their
they were not those crap. People. Yeah, but before this, they were always we're the cheapest, we're this, we're that.
No, they're not. They were not. No.
So,
they were not.
Well, they were always cheaper. I mean, the Switch alone was $299.
If you're a game collector, collecting for Nintendo systems always holds more value because their games always hold more value, which is both a plus and a shitty thing. You could always buy cheap PS4 games. Those are the ways. Cheap PS4 and cheap Xbox games are what you'll find. You don't usually find cheap Nintendo games because they don't drop below a certain price for first party stuff, and that's what irritates collectors and stuff, and why I won't be buying $80 and $90 games. I won't even buying a Switch 2. I have no desire to buy it right now, so
eventually I'll buy one, but
I don't know what's going to appeal to me. Like, what do I want from Nintendo that they can provide
Mario Kart?
I don't care. Do you have a lot of friends you play Mario Kart with all the time? You have Mario Kart parties? You got all these buddies
No,
you
but
hang
I
out
mean,
with?
it's always the game that you have. It's like whatchamacall? It's like Super Smash Brothers. You
Also
only play it
sucks.
when there's like
Fuck
8
Smash
people in the
Brothers.
room.
It's horrible. Ooh, up B, down B, left B, right B. Shut the hell up. Oh, yeah. Smash Brothers. Yeah, you got your arguments are not working for me.
It's a fun game. I don't know what to tell you. It's fun for me.
Well, you want to bring up another Nintendo game? I'll shoot it down. What, Metroid? Yeah, I never really played a Metroid. I played a little bit of the NES one, and other than that, I've never really put much time into a Metroid, so I have no desire to play
was always
Metroid Prime
cool.
4.
I mean,
Don't care.
it had its own. I mean, there's a whole genre named after it, Metroidvania.
Yep.
So I mean, it's got to be cool. It's
and I don't really like Metroidvanias either because I always forget where I'm going and what if it's not marked clearly. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I always. I mean, I can't say I was a huge Metroid fan. It's like those things where like Pokemon. Either you're in or you're out. You know, you don't.
I've never played a
nobody
Pokemon
dabbles
game
in
either.
Pokemon.
Pokemon was
Like,
a
nobody
generation
dabbles
below
in
me.
these games.
I felt like I was like 3 years too old to get into Pokemon. I was like 18 when my brother was into it at like 14. So I was like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. That's it for me. I mean, I don't have anything.
Now we're good. That's there's the show, folks.
Right?
Good times. We didn't pick anything for next week, huh? Or
No,
2
we
weeks?
did not. So it's going to be TBD because
That's
we were
all right. We'll
supposed to review No More Heroes 3.
No, well, it was No More Heroes, then it was Dying Light, and I tried Dying Light. I did not really like Dying Light.
Yeah.
It was not
I'll take your
engaging
word for
me. Yeah, no. You can buy it for $3.99 right now. It's on sale. It's marked down for $20 for $3.99. You can try it
That's why
yourself.
it was free on PlayStation Network.
I just wasn't having a great time with it. It felt pretty generic. The parkour was fun, but I don't know. I just wasn't having a good time. No More Heroes 3, I was having a good time, but he thought it was stupid because all the anime style stuff, and he doesn't understand the Suda 51 style of humor. So I don't know that we're playing.
You know, like it takes a certain type of game to get me to be like, this is great. And that game is Blueprints. So I'll be playing that.
It got more interesting. All right, we'll pick something. We'll figure it out next time. I got to go get on stream.
Maybe we'll
get on stream and play Dead Space.
Yeah, or whatever. And
you got me playing Dead Space remake on stream. Let's start as of last night or 2 nights ago.
Right.
That's got me shrieking a little bit. I'm pretty reactive. All right, dude.
Feel free to yell at us on Twitter or Twix or whatever at Dad's Game
Josh
Review.
Games on everything, whatever. Gosh Games with a Z on TikTok and Twitch.
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again next week or a couple of weeks, 2 weeks. Bye bye.